Dear students, today the topic of our lecture is parts of speech. In order to learn the basics of English language grammar, the knowledge about these parts of speech is very necessary because you can't make or understand any sentence without them. There are 8 parts of speech, and in this lecture we are going to discuss first 2 parts of speech that are called noun and pronoun. The parts of speech are important because they show us how the words relate to each other. These are the words which are used to compose a sentence into a coherent sentence and gives the appropriate meaning. Actually, understanding the parts of speech in English grammar is very important because they have an important role to form a sentence to make it in accordance with the grammar of the sentence. There are 8 parts of speech in the English language. These are noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. A part of speech indicates how the word functions in meaning as well as grammatically within the sentence. An individual word can function as more than one part of speech when used in different circumstances. So understanding parts of speech is essential for determining the correct definition of a word. So let's discuss first of all noun and its various types. A noun is a kind of word that is usually the name of something such as person, place, thing, quality, or idea. There are various types of nouns. Number 1 is common noun. A common noun is a noun that refers to people or thing in general. For example, boy, country, bridge, city, birth, day, happiness. So from these examples, we can say that all these names are common things. Second type of noun is called proper noun. A proper noun is name that identifies a particular person, place, or thing. For example, Ali, Africa, London, Monday. And you can find out, or you can recognize a proper noun with a capital letter because it starts with a capital letter. If any noun starts with a capital letter, so you can categorize it in a proper noun. The third type of noun is called concrete noun. A concrete noun is a noun which refers to people or to things that exist physically and can be seen, touched, smelled, heard, or tasted. For example, cat, building, coffee, tree, rain, beach, and tune are the examples of concrete noun. The next type of noun is called abstract noun. An abstract noun is a noun which refers to ideas, qualities, and conditions, things that cannot be seen or touched, and things which have no physical reality. For example, truth, danger, happiness, time, friendship, and humor. And from all these examples, you can see that all these words, we have just a mental image in our mind. We can't see and visualize them. So abstract nouns are formed in various ways. There are 3 ways we can form abstract nouns: from adjective, from verbs, and from common nouns. Let's see how abstract nouns are formed from adjectives. You can see in these examples kind and honest are the words which are used as an adjective because these 2 words are describing the quality of some person or someone. So we can form abstract nouns from these adjectives as kindness and honesty. Honesty from honest and kindness from kind. So in this way we can form abstract nouns from adjectives. And how we can form abstract nouns from verbs? You can see in these examples the words obey and grow. Obey and grow are used as verbs, right? Now we can form abstract nouns from these words obey as obedience and growth from grow. The third way how we can form abstract nouns is we can form these abstract nouns from common nouns as well. Let's see this example. Child, childhood from child, slavery from slave. Child and slave are the words which are used as common nouns, so we can also form abstract nouns from these words as well. Childhood from child and slavery from slave. There are other number of examples of adjectives, verbs and nouns from which we can form abstract nouns. The next type is called material noun. Material noun refers to a material or substance from which things are made, such as silver, gold, iron, cotton, diamond and plastic. The next type of noun is called collective nouns. Collective nouns refers to a group of people or things, for example audience, family, government, team and jury. And in American English, most collective nouns are treated as singular with a singular verb. For example, the whole family was at the table. The next type of noun is called countable and uncountable nouns. Nouns can be either countable or uncountable. These nouns are those that refer to something that can be counted. A countable noun is a separate object, it's a separate unit. We can clearly count the number of units of a countable noun. For example, ball. It's a word that is categorized as a countable noun and it has a singular form. For example, I have one ball. It also has a plural form where there is more than one unit. For regular nouns, we usually form the plural by adding s. For example, I have two balls. Next type is called uncountable nouns. And uncountable nouns is not a separate object or unit. We cannot count uncountable nouns. That's why they are called uncountable nouns. It's a large solid mass or liquid without clear boundaries. An example is water. We can't count water. We don't say I have 3 waters. It doesn't make any sense. Water is a liquid and is just one big amount altogether. Uncountable nouns only have a singular form. For example, I have some water. This is the correct use of this uncountable noun. I have some water. If we say I have some waters, so it would be considered as wrong. Similarly, we cannot use the indefinite article a and an with this noun. I have a water. If we say I have a water, it would be also considered a wrong. Uncountable nouns are therefore names of materials, gases, liquids, concepts, collections and mass objects without boundaries. For example, sugar, butter, oxygen, rice, pasta, salt, milk and water. Connected with a hyphen. For example, dry cleaning, daughter-in-law and well-being are some examples of hyphenated compound nouns. Sometimes compound nouns appear as 2 separate words. For example, full moon, Christmas tree and swimming pool are some examples of compound nouns that are formed with 2 separate words. They are often referred to as open or spaced compound nouns. because there is certain space in between the two words. When we see all these examples, we can see that all these words that are based on two words are used individually as well. Like tooth is a separate word, paste is a separate word, but when they are combined, when they are combined, they are taken as a one word. Similarly, the example of haircut, hair is a separate word, cut is a separate word, but when we combine these two words, this forms an other word. Compound noun, here is an exercise in order to make the compound nouns. You can select appropriate word from this list, with these certain words. Like here is the example of fund. You can select a most appropriate word from these three words. So I think a fundraiser would be an appropriate word in order to form a compound noun. Similarly, newspaper would be appropriate word. Sunglasses, and childhood, door, handle. So in this way we can form compound nouns. Next type of noun is called possessive nouns. Possessive nouns, as its inevitable from its name, they show ownership or possession. The best way to spot them is to look for an apostrophe. For example, Ali's imagination ran wild as he daydreamed about his trip to Murray. Ireland's landscape is truly breathtaking. The kids' toys are in the basket. So all these examples are possessive nouns because apostrophe is accompanied by these nouns, because this apostrophe is showing possession or ownership. Next type is called gender specific noun. A gender specific noun refers specifically to a male or a female. In English, the gender of most nouns is neuter. However, if a noun refers to something obviously male or female, then its gender will be masculine or feminine. For example, queen, vixen, bitch, so are the example of feminine noun, and king, uncle, drake are the examples of masculine noun. Next type of noun is called common gender noun. A noun that denotes either a male or a female is said to be of a common gender, as parent, child, friend, pupil, servant, thief, enemy, cousin, person, orphan, student, baby, neighbor, and infant. So all these words show that all these words can be used as a masculine as well as in a feminine way. And the next type of noun is called neuter gender. A noun that denotes a thing that is neither male or female is said to be of the neuter gender. For example, book, pen, room, tree. Neuter means neither. It means that neither male nor female. So these words are categorized neither in female or male category. The last type of noun is called verbal nouns. Nouns derived from verbs. For example, build, attack, arrive, decide. All these words are examples of verbs. Build is verb, attack is verb, arrive and decide is also verb. So we can also form nouns from these words, so that's why these are called verbal nouns, because they are formed from certain verbs. It was a lovely building. Their arrival has been delayed. That was an awful decision by the referee. From these examples, you can see that building is formed from build by adding ing, and arrival is formed from arrive by removing e and placing al with it. And similarly, decision is made from the word decide, decision. And if we see the word attack, it is used at the same time as a verb as well as a noun. Their attack was very severe. Here attack is used as a noun, and he attacked him. Here it is used as a verb. So we have discussed all the types of noun. Now we are going to discuss pronoun and its different types. Pronouns are words that are used in place of a noun, often to avoid the repetition of a noun. For example, Hina was tired, so she went to bed. Ali took the children with him. He bought a glass of water for me. That's a good idea. Anything might happen. So from these examples, you can see the words she, him, me, he, that, anything are the words that are used as a pronoun. So some pronouns are used in objective form and some are used in subjective form. So let's discuss other types of pronouns. The very first type of pronoun is called personal pronouns. Personal pronouns are used in place of nouns referring to specific people or things. For example, I, we, they, you, he, she, me, mine, you, yours, his, her, hers, or them are the examples of personal pronouns, and they can be divided into various different categories according to their role in a sentence, as subjective pronouns, objective pronouns, possessive pronouns, and reflexive pronouns. Now, how pronouns are used in a subjective form. The personal pronouns I, you, we, he, she, it, and they are known as subjective pronouns because they act as the subjects of the verbs. She saw her. We drove Ali home. I waved at her. In these examples, she, we, and I are subjective pronoun because they are used in a subjective form in place of subject. Next is objective pronouns. The personal pronouns me, you, us, him, her, it, and them are called objective pronouns because they act as the object of verbs. For example, Huma saw her. Ali drove us home. She waved at me. Her, us, and me are the words which are categorized as pronouns, and they are used in a objective form because they are acting as an object in the sentence. Here is a chart of different forms of pronouns. There are three persons, first person, second person, and third person, and different pronouns here are showed to you in a singular form and in a plural form, and how they are used in subjective form and objective form. So first person I is used in subjective form and me in a objective form. Similarly, in plural form, we is used as an subjective form, and us will be used as an objective form. In second person, only one word or only one pronoun is used as a second person, and it will be remain the same whether it is used in subjective form or objective form, or in a singular way or a plural way. It will remain the same. And third person, he, she, it is used in a subjective form, and him, her, it will be used in objective form. And they, in plural way, they is used as a subjective form, and them is used as an objective form. So you and it remains the same in all categories. Next type of pronoun is called possessive pronouns. The personal pronouns mine, yours, hers, his, hers, and theirs are known as possessive pronouns because these words shows possession. They refer to something owned by the speaker or by someone or something previously mentioned. For example, that book is mine. This is your book. He is our family friend. So these words mine, your are categorized as possessive pronouns because they are showing possession or ownership. That's why they are called possessions. Next type of pronoun is called reflexive pronouns. Reflexive personal pronouns include myself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. These are used to refer back to the subject of the clause in which they are used. For example, I fell and hurt myself. Daisy prepared herself for the journey. The children had to look after themselves. The words are pronouns myself, herself, themselves are categorized as reflexive pronouns. Why they are called reflexive pronouns? Because they refer back to their subjects. That's why myself is referring back to I, herself is referring back to Daisy, and themselves is referring back to the children. So that's why they are called reflexive pronouns. And the next type is called relative pronouns. Why they are called relative pronouns? Because they relate or connect one clause to another clause. They introduce additional information about something mentioned in the sentence. Relative pronouns include that, what, which, who, and whom. Traditionally, who refers to people, and which and that refers to animal or things. The woman didn't leave a message who called her. All the dogs that got adopted today will be loved. My car, which is nearly 20 years old, still runs well. So my car still runs well, which is nearly 20 years old. We can say in this arrangement as well. So my car still runs well is a one part of the sentence, which is nearly 20 years old is another part of the sentence, and here the word which is connecting these two sentences. So that's why making the relation with one sentence to another. The next type of pronoun is called demonstrative pronouns. That this, these, and those are demonstrative pronouns. They take the place of a noun or noun phrase that has already been mentioned. This is used for singular items that are nearby, and this is used for multiple items that are nearby. The distance can be physical or metaphorical. Next type of pronoun is called indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronouns are used when you need to refer to a person or thing that doesn't need to be specifically identified. Some common indefinite pronouns are one, other, none, some, anybody, everybody, and no one. And next type of pronoun is interrogative pronouns. Interrogative pronouns are used in questions, and examples are who, what, which, whom, who is your friend, what are you doing. So we can use these words in this way because they are used in interrogative form, so that's why they are called interrogative. The next type of pronoun is called reciprocal pronouns. A reciprocal pronoun is a pronoun which is used to indicate that two or more people are carrying out or have carried out an action of some type, with both receiving the benefits or consequences of that action simultaneously. There are only two reciprocal pronouns, each other and one another. Both of them allow you to make sentences simpler. They are especially useful when you need to express the same general idea more than once. Each other is used for two person, and one another is used for more than two persons. Then it would be used as Ben himself built a boat. So then it would be taken as a emphatic pronoun or intensive pronoun because we are putting emphasis on himself. Similarly, another example is my mother bakes our family's bread herself. So here the emphasis on herself, so it would be categorized as intensive pronoun. Next type of pronoun is called generic pronoun. It is also known as a common gender pronoun. In English grammar, a generic pronoun is a personal pronoun such as one or they. They can refer to both masculine and feminine entities, and also called a common gender pronoun, an epicene pronoun, and a general neutral pronoun as well. One, you, we, and they are generic personal pronouns. We can use one, you, we, and they to refer to people in general. So that's why they are called generic pronoun. Here are the examples how we can use these generic pronoun in a sentence. One should never go to sleep with an electric heating pad turned on. They can use the internet without understanding cookies. You usually need a raincoat in Ireland. It rains a lot. We tend to avoid talking about money. So the words in these sentences, one, they, you, and we, are used in a general way. So this was all about noun and pronoun, and we discussed all the types of these two parts of speech. So keep watching the channel. The rest of the parts of speech will be discussed in our next lecture. Thank you.